Deep in the heart of a vast green forest lived a young boy named Evan. More than anything, he loved exploring new places, collecting strange, colorful leaves, and listening to the beautiful songs of the birds. One bright sunny morning, buzzing with excitement and curiosity, Evan packed a small bag. He pulled on his favorite blue shirt and brown shorts and set off on an adventure into the great unknown. At first, everything felt like a wonderful dream. The air was crisp and smelled of pine and damp earth. Sunlight streamed down in golden rays, dancing between the tall, ancient trees. Colorful parrots with feathers like jewels flew above his head, and cheeky monkeys swung playfully from branch to branch. Evan laughed out loud and clapped his hands, feeling like he had stepped right into a storybook. But as the day stretched on, Evan began to realize he had wandered much farther than he'd intended. The familiar paths he knew had vanished, and the trees grew thicker and closer together, their branches intertwining like a giant maze. He spun around, but every direction looked exactly the same. A knot of fear tightened in his stomach. "Oh no, where am I?" he whispered, his voice trembling just a little. To his complete astonishment, a voice answered him, clear as day. "You're in our forest, little human." Evan jumped and his head snapped up. There, sitting comfortably on a branch just above him, was a small, cheeky monkey, grinning from ear to ear. Did you just talk?" Evan stammered, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Of course," the monkey chattered back. "We all do here. You're not from around, are you?" Just then, a whole group of parrots swooped down from the treetops, their laughter echoing like little bells. "He's lost," they chirped in a chorus. "He's lost. Poor little traveler." Evan felt a strange mix of amazement and confusion. This was impossible, but it was happening. Can you help me get out of here?" he asked, his voice full of hope. The animals all looked at each other, their expressions thoughtful. "Maybe," said the monkey, scratching his head. "But first, you must meet someone special." The monkey hopped down from the branch and led Evan down a winding, hidden path, weaving through thick vines and lush ferns. The forest was truly alive. Whispers seemed to travel on the wind, carrying secrets from tree to tree, and the birds' songs weren't just noise, they were melodies guiding his steps. Then, suddenly, Evan stopped dead in his tracks. In front of him, tangled horribly in a bush of sharp thorns, was a young deer. Its leg was bleeding, and its beautiful brown eyes were wide with pain and fear. "Tono?" Evan gasped, his heart aching for the poor creature. He gently pushed aside the thorny vines and knelt beside the deer. "Don't be scared," he said softly. "I'll help you." The deer looked at him, completely surprised. You can understand me?" it asked, its voice weak. Evan managed a small, reassuring smile. "I guess I can. Now, hold still." Without a second thought, he tore a piece of cloth from the bottom of his own blue shirt and carefully, gently wrapped it around the deer's wounded leg. Seeing his kindness, the parrots flew down, bringing clean, soft leaves to help clean the cut. The monkeys, surprisingly strong, helped pull away the sharp thorns one by one. Before long, the deer was free and, with a little wobble, was able to stand again. "Thank you," the deer said, bowing its head gracefully. "No one has ever helped me before." Evan smiled, feeling a warm glow spread through his chest. "I'm just glad you're okay. I'm lost, actually. I was trying to find my way home." The deer's eyes shone with a gentle light. "Then you have found the right friend. Climb on my back, and I'll take you there." Evan hesitated for just a moment. "Really? You'd do that for me?" The deer nodded its noble head. "You healed me. Now it's my turn to guide you." With a little help from the friendly forest animals, Evan climbed onto the deer's strong back. Together, they set off, walking through patches of golden sunlight that filtered through the canopy. As they traveled, monkeys waved goodbye from the trees, and the parrots sang the most cheerful songs Evan had ever heard, their music echoing through the forest. As they reached the edge of the woods, Evan could see the familiar sight of smoke rising from the chimneys of his village in the distance. The deer stopped. "This is where I must leave you," it said, its voice soft. "Remember this? Young friend, kindness is the language that every creature understands." Evan slid off the deer's back and gave it a tight, heartfelt hug. "I'll never forget you," he whispered, his voice thick with emotion. The deer seemed to smile, then it turned and disappeared back into the forest, its graceful silhouette fading into the soft green light. Evan stood there for a long while, just listening. The leaves rustled and whispered on the breeze, and it sounded as if the whole forest was saying goodbye. When he finally walked back into his village, everyone gathered around, amazed to hear his incredible story. But some of the grown-ups just laughed. "Talking animals, a deer that saved you." They chuckled, shaking their heads. Evan only smiled and looked back toward the forest. He didn't need them to believe him. Deep inside, he knew the truth that just beyond the familiar trees was a magical world, a place where a simple act of kindness could speak louder than any words ever could. And from that day on, every time Evan visited the forest, he noticed the birds sang just a little bit louder for him. And the monkeys laughed a little bit brighter because they all remembered the boy who once stopped to listen to the whispers of the wild. Thank you so much for joining us for this story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and subscribe to our channel for more adventures. We'll see you next time.